President. We'll be joined by other guests in the course of the show, virtual guests from our outstation. For now, let's concentrate. Okay. Now, let's go to Benin and bring in Comrade Roy Oriabo. Comrade Roy Oriabo is an activist, but he is here in the capacity of a public affairs analyst. Good morning to you, Comrade Roy Oriabo, and thanks for joining us on VOP this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. My pleasure. Our pleasure to have you. And from Oka Studio, we've been joined by Honorable Ejiofor Egwuatu. Honorable Ejiofor Egwuatu is former House Committee Chairman on Information, Anambra State House of Assembly. He's a politician, but he appears here in the capacity of a public affairs analyst. Good morning to you, Honorable Egwuatu, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me here.
Okay. And virtually, we've been joined by Comrade Eze Oko-Splendor. He was the 2023 Labour Party governor candidate in Ebonyi State. Good morning, Comrade Splendor, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning to you, sir. It's my pleasure to be with you again. Good morning, Nigerians.
Good morning. Beautiful. We have a full house. So let's kick off from here in Lagos. The Prince, my federal government, your federal government, our federal government, through the secretary to the government of the Federation says, well, the people that are killing Nigerians, our fellow citizens, are not Nigerians. They are foreigners, French-speaking Nigerians. My Prince, can you react to that statement? How did it hit you? How did it hit you when you heard it?
Shameless.
Why?
The Secretary to State of the Secretary to Government saying this shows you how shameless the government is. You are telling Nigerians who have been dying in their numbers that foreigners are the ones coming to kill them. And they're proudly saying it. How did they enter into this country in the first place? How did they enter into the country in the first place? Did they come in as spirits? It simply shows you that our borders are porous. It simply shows you that those who are meant to man the borders are doing nothing. It simply shows you that the government has not taken the security of life and properties of Nigerians seriously. That is what it is.
Now, does it look like more like, okay, if this is an admission that we have foreigners killing us, at least we are, like they say that the problem identified is half solved. Does it look like that where the federal government knows who are killing us, the people that are killing us now, are we a step, in solving the problem?
Your president had a good relationship with the president of France. And if these guys are French-speaking, it means that they were colonized by France. So why is he not taking advantage of that relationship? Yes, why is he not taking advantage of that relationship? So how come it's taking them almost 3 years or so to identify these people? Why? So where do we even start from? Are you now saying that the Boko Haram, the Lukarawa, the insurgents, the headers, all of them are foreigners?
No. When the secretary to the government of the Federation says these people are not Hausa speaking, they don't speak fluent Hausa, but their French is fluent, what does that connote? What is it trying to tell Nigerians?
It's trying to tell Nigerians that they don't even know who they're fighting with. They don't know. Okay. See, let me tell you, Okoro, if you go up north, unfortunately, nobody wants to admit the fact that the core problem in the north that started this whole thing is the minerals that they're mining in the north. It's the solid minerals that they're mining in the north. And who are those that are mining it? You remember here, governors in the north came and said they want to suspend mining in the north for 6 months. And I asked, I said, is it government-approved mining or illegal mining?
Okay, so you think the whole thing, the insecurity is economic related?
It is. Do you know what these guys are making from Nigerians? Do you know how much? We're talking about the north. Don't forget that Ondo State is coming is another hotbed right now. Kwara State has been receiving it.
Okay, because you have deposits there as well.
The last time they killed an Oba or whatever in Ondo State, they kidnapped this defense staff They kidnapped another person, I think, 2 days ago. So they're moving in.
Okay, they're coming closer.
So who are they?
Okay, let's quickly run to Benin City let Comrade Roy help us make sense of what is happening. Comrade Roy, I'm with you now. Now, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation also said something. He said, well, Nigeria is not the only country that is plagued by insecurity. What does that mean? Is he telling us to live with it or what? Can you help us explain his position on that?
Yeah, once again, thank you for having me. You know, any position from the government must be taken very seriously. And now that the government are able to say, well, those who are terrorizing us are French-speaking personalities. To me, that is a product of their own research. They are able to situate the position that, because we have an illusion, we believe, some of us in this part of the world believe that once there is any strike, any act of terrorism, we quickly say Fulani herdsmen. Now that the government are able to situate it, taking the burden away from the Fulani herdsmen, I think they have sufficient information. I'm not government, I'm far away from the government. They have information more than what we have. Therefore, to me, let's listen to them. Maybe with this, they can get a solution. Because I'm one of those who believe, and I'm informing all Nigerians that we are not supposed to be continuing to lament. That we should look for a way to look for solution. I'm not an agent of solution. Because lamentation, the book of lamentation was not written because of Nigeria. I'm an agent of solution.
Comrade Roy, now that the government is telling us this, but we also hear Nigerians who have been victims of these attacks, you know, people in Benue Plateau that have been killed, that are saying, or that say, well, these people at some point were cow herders, and they spoke a certain Fulfude language, you know, and when they strike in some parts of the South, what we hear, well, the people that attacked us were speaking a particular Fulani language, Fulfude. So that is some form of contrast with what the federal government is telling us. So what are they trying to achieve? Because from the intelligence they have and from what the victims see and know, these things are different. Recall that the former Chief of Defense Staff, now the Minister of Defense, also told us that the people that are killing Nigerians are foreigners, but he didn't classify them. Now we get a classification. Oh, they don't even speak Flint Hausa, they speak French. So how do we balance all of that?
It means that when this terrorism started in this country, it started from the Boko Haram. And those Boko Haram can be situated. We know where they are from. We are aware of the man who is the founder of Boko Haram. We can also explain how the Boko Haram metamorphosed. You know, if as of today, what you are telling me now is that if as of today, the Nigerian government is saying that the Fulanis are not the one responsible again. This is another dimension to it. We started from Boko Haram, ISWAP, different names are coming up. And we not saying we have been told that Boko Haram is not as serious as they were. They are not as viable and potent as they were. You understand me? Therefore, and some foreign persons are not coming. The Nigerian government is telling us that these are French-speaking persons. What they are telling us in essence is that one, we are aware of the situation. The Nigerian government have taken responsibility. One, they are taking responsibility that one, our people are being terrorized. Our people are being killed on a daily basis. Our people are being kidnapped, but these are the persons doing it. To me, that is a step. What we should be demanding from Nigeria, I agree with the Nigerian government that there are killings. Killings is not only related to Nigeria. Terrorism is not only, as I last time was monitoring the international news, when I saw the Mexicans, what they also passing through there. I am not only brief for the Nigerian government, but I'm telling you that these are their position. To me, they are more now equipped in terms of information gathering. They are not more equipped on how they will tackle. Since we don't know who we are fighting, I think it will be better for the government, when I say we government, to also provide solution and tackle these terrorists. Because now the battle is getting closer. Who are you going to take? Mr. Koro, who are you going to take more serious? Is it the Nigerian government giving you information? Not those who are saying people were kidnapped a year ago.
All right, then.
People who were kidnapped 2 years ago.
Well, thank you very much,
all what the government is telling you today.
Comrade Roy. Well, thank you very much. Let's bring other guests into the conversation as well. We have Honorable Egwatu, Honorable Ejiofor Egwatu. Good morning to you. Welcome to the conversation. Now, some would say, does it matter what what tongue terrorists speak? Should that bother us really? Because Nigerians are saying our people are being killed. People are being driven from their ancestral land. Their houses are burned. Women and children are killed. And we hear people are kidnapped as well, 200. And in fact, between January and February 23, record has it that over 323 people, Nigerians, have been killed by terrorists. So, what tongue terrorists speak, is that what we should be talking about at this time? Or ensuring the safety of Nigerians? This statement made by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, does it give you, how does it make you feel? Do you have do you feel like government is serious in dealing with this issue at all? But if you have the question and you were to react, you might need to unmute your device so we can get your audio feed. All right, unfortunately, we can't get audio from Comrade Roy. I beg your pardon, Comrade Ejiofor Egwatu. We can't get audio, so I'll bring you back to the studio.
I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Then. I can hear you now. Go right ahead, please.
Okay. I think the best thing I was expecting to hear something else from the Secretary to the federal government after telling us they have identified these terrorists as French-speaking. I was expecting to hear the efforts the government is now employing to drive away the French-speaking terrorists. I was expecting to hear what the government has done to get those French-speaking terrorists arrested, and then what they have done about them. Just telling us they are French-speaking is like...
I'll tell you what they've done. I'll tell you what they've done. I mean, that was going to be my next question, actually. He said the president's visit, within the same breath, he said the president's visit to Turkey was to acquire drones. That's something that they've done. But what have we seen in the past days? We've seen terrorists acquire drones that could, bomb camps just by being controlled from a remote location. So you start to, I don't know.
It's obvious the terrorists are getting more technically equipped. It's obvious they are being, so much money is being pumped into that terrorism. And I think the government needs to attack their source of income. Who are behind this sponsorship? I don't think it's just the money they realize from kidnapping and all the rest of them. Somebody mentioned mining industry and some economic factors. The government should look at these things. This terrorism is taking a new shape. It's taking a new form. The people who are dying are Nigerians, and we need to be very sure of government's effort to stop this killing. The most important thing is that these killings are stopped completely. The most important thing is that Nigerians are free to move around in their respective villages, homes, and abroad without fear of terrorism, without fear of attack. So the way, the kind of technology they are employing is an uncomfortable situation. Government should do much more than it is doing now. It's a very pathetic situation. Government should do much more than they are doing now.
All right, then.
You can't tell me that the Nigerian government is about to obtain drones. How now?
All right.
We should have had enough drones now, before now. What about the funding? The military in the Nigerian budget, the military is getting a large chunk of budgetary allocation, and it's also getting a large chunk of releases. So many infrastructural developments are not getting as much releases as the military is getting just for the fight of this terrorism. And so we should see them acquiring everything that they need. Acquiring drones shouldn't be a news for every Nigerian to jump at. Uh, we, we, we're supposed to be the giant of Africa. How can acquiring drones become new? Drones have always been used by so many countries long years before now. Nigeria should not be found wanting of that.
All right,
So
thank you very
acquiring
much.
drones is not a very palatable news.
Okay, you say that's not a palatable one, but some would say that at least that will reduce the number of men that will be found in the theater of war, because with drones you need lesser men on ground. That's what I mean. That's the argument that some will put forward. Prince Francis Chilaka, let me take you up on this. This drone acquisition from Turkey, as said by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, reacting to foreign terrorists, foreign individuals that are in Nigeria. Now, if you followed the past few days, like I said, now the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, is saying this. But sometime last week, we heard that terrorists acquired about 35 drones. Does it seem like there's a sabotage somewhere? Because the government, and if you follow up the visit of the president to Turkey and the relationship Nigeria has had with Turkey, you will understand that they have constantly warned Nigeria about the presence of a terrorist group in Nigeria, who they say are embedded in, providing charitable work, hospitals, schools, and the rest of them. They have told Nigerians that these people are here, drive them away. Now the president go in there, an acquisition on the other side. Is there a sabotage somewhere?
When we talk about sabotage, I mean, I'm happy. Somebody said, "Oh, I'm happy. Government has identified the problem," and like we say, you can only solve a problem when you identify. You can find a solution when you identify the problem. First and foremost, Okoro asked a question, a very pertinent question. He said, "Who do we believe? Do you believe the man that comes to your house to maim, to rape, and to kill your children, he speaks a language you're a bit familiar with? You understand what I'm saying? He speaks a language you're familiar with. Maybe it's in Igbo, maybe it's Hausa, maybe it's Fulfude. He speaks. Or do you believe somebody who stands outside and insinuating that this man is speaking this language? So until we balance that, I would believe the man that was attacked. Because the man that was attacked has a first-hand information. He knows who attacked him. He understands the language they spoke. So for government to now come and say, "Oh, these guys are speaking," government is just trying to take Nigerians' mind out of the reality. If you're saying they speak French, for instance, are they the ones occupying the land, the ancestral homes of people that have been chased into IDP camps?
And renaming the LGs in those places?
Yes, so if they're the ones, and they're foreigners, why have you not decimated them? We must look at things critically. We're not dummies in this country anymore. Nigerians have become more aware. Nigerians have become more educated. So if you're telling me that, oh, they are foreigners, so foreigners have taken over, let's say, a community in Oshodi, foreigners have taken it over. And the government feels that the best way to address it is to pamper them. They're not your citizens.
If they're not.
Your loyalty lies with your citizens. So you must take them out.
All right.
And return your citizens back to their ancestral homes. Then we'll now know that, okay, yes, it is foreigners. That's on the one side. On the other side, this, call them whatever name you want, terrorists or whatever, these guys are making so much money. Because if you're saying that they bought drones, did they just go to the market to pick it? They bought them with money. How did they do the transfer? Who paid for the drones? Are we saying that you can no longer track transactions? Okay, the way you and I are sitting down here now, if 100 billion hit our account, EFCC will track it. CBN will track it. Why are they not able to track how these guys are buying this equipment? And why is it that the government has kept quiet, very silent? And that silence is the fact that, first of all, We heard that list was given to the former late president. Nobody's talking about it. Why is government finding it difficult to come and name those who are sponsoring banditry in Nigeria? Why?
Can we also talk about the fact that it appears like there's a lot of complicity and lack of political will? Because why do you think these bandits would actually write to a community in Kebbi State and ask them to pay 100 million naira protection fee? So what exactly is happening?
When you allow non-state actors to wield so much power, you embolden them. When the peace meetings, we were here, we said this is wrong. This should not be encouraged. You cannot tell me that, we hear this story about vampires, and they say vampires live on human blood. And then you have 10 children, and you go and start negotiating with a vampire that needs the blood of your children to survive. Do you think you will spare any of them? Nobody tests sugar and spits it out.
Okay. All right, Prince. We'll come back to you. Now, let's quickly run to Comrade Splendor Oko, who is also with us on this show. Now, Comrade, I'm sure you have followed this conversation. If the federal government is coming to tell us that the people that are killing Nigerians, our citizens, are French-speaking people, does it look to you like this problem has been internationalized? Does it take in an international dimension? Mind you, we have ISWAP here, Islamic State West Africa province, an offshoot of ISIS. We're also told that Lakorawa came in through the borders